I'm going to redefine the word lazy. 4 years ago, I was working what I thought was my dream job. Working in a high-achieving job in tech, an industry I'd always admired and got a degree in. But then, one ordinary Tuesday, everything changed. I hit my head while on a coffee walk, way too early in the morning, my only free time during the work week, and woke up in the hospital with a concussion. Don't worry, I just slipped on ice and fell upside down. I wish I had much more of an exciting story. Sadly, not the case. This concussion wasn't just a wake-up call. It was a siren screaming for change. I was 23, overworked, and lacked passion in my work. I wanted to say yes to every new project to prove myself, while at the same time hide from everyone, so they wouldn't know what I was good at. Because that attention always resulted in more invitations to do more work with more stress and no extra pay. Prior to my concussion, I was in denial about my burnout. I told myself every day, oh, when I just get through this next project, I'll be better tomorrow. I was stuck in a loop. Why do we push ourselves to the brink? Today, I want to shed light on my trend, lazy girl jobs. A mindset redefining the balance between work and life. When I first said those 3 words in my social media, the hashtag shortly after gained over 40 million views on TikTok. This virality created tens of thousands of worldwide media mentions, some including New York Times, Forbes, Bloomberg. 60 Minutes Australia came to my house, which I was nervous about at first, of course. Dr. Phil flew me out to a studio, and countless others. Some positive, and some negative, of course. The broader lazy girl fad was a trend on TikTok to really just talk about getting a task done in the most efficient way possible. Prior to me carving my own corner in this trend, lazy girl makeup ideas, lazy girl workout routines were on the rise. Prior to me doing all of this, I saw women who were so beautiful bragging about their full body workout. I was looking at that and I was going, hello, let's use the same logic for our jobs too. There began my journey to redefine and package this trend to create a bigger conversation about our relationship with work. Lazy girl jobs are not a secret list of jobs out there promising minimal work for high pay. And no, they're not gender specific. It's a mindset that provides room for work-life balance. You can do this by envisioning your job as so work-life balance friendly that it feels lazy. It was so catchy, how could it have not caught on? So why are people more interested in downtime these days? And is it the employer's or the employee's fault? Personal time and company loyalty has been a newer conversation in today's trends. CEOs have warned employees to return back to the office, work long hours, many other pro-work advice. All via news cycles Gen Z will never take seriously. According to Gallup, the real issue is only 33% of our workforce was engaged in 2023. That's a disappointing number. Not only is it concerning for employers, but that's a horrible position for employees to be at mentally, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And I'm being naive here, I know you're working more than that. David Graeber is an anthropologist who changed my life about defining work. I read his book about the criticisms of busy work while on vacation to really relax. He warned in 2018 in his book titled Bullshit Jobs that if we continue to create meaningless work, pushed by bureaucracy and the illusion of productivity, we create meaningless jobs. He has 5 defined bullshit jobs. I'm only going to talk about one today. This is probably most relevant to you. They're called task masters. They primarily exist to create more busy work for others to do to justify their own existence. All 5 of these categories center around doing or getting others to do work that is essentially meaningless, just to justify their own position. I highly recommend the book, but don't recommend calling your boss a taskmaster to their face. I enjoyed his book so much that I actually wanted to reach out to Graeber to see if he'd be interested in collaborating together. Shortly after I learned that he died in 2020, I was very sad to hear about that. So many people in my community begged me to read his book, and I stubbornly denied. I didn't want his thoughts to influence my own. Now that I understand his theories, I realize his thoughts are more of a supportive argument for my work today. Now, why does meaningless work matter? The societal collapse that Graeber is calling for ends at the individual. I don't have to imagine because I know it's true, but imagine you spent the last 8 to 10 hours polishing off the latest and greatest busy work. It could be a report your boss asks you to urgently complete. You find this report goes nowhere, isn't read by anyone, is filed in the many other stuff of just stuff. You begin to spend more of your precious time on this earth creating more of these reports that provide no intrinsic value to the organization, nor the broader world. You consequently begin to doubt your life's choices and your decision to go to college if it's just to complete meaningless tasks. You begin to lose your sense of pride and sense of accomplishment that you were once promised from being a career-focused person. And to expect when 5 o'clock hits, you'll just flip a switch in your emotional state and re-engage with your life becomes harder and harder to do. Of course, this dread is going to affect how you show up with your family, your friends, your hyperlocal community. How could it not? The world doesn't feel purposeful when you're doing purposeless things for most of your waking hours. This is the real issue to disengaged employees. Do you know what I'm describing here? What us Gen Zs have seen our parents go through. So of course we have doubts on the promises sold to us from overworking. We've watched our parents dive headfirst into job titles that may not have even needed to exist in the first place. That's why we're bidding for a change to the corporate landscape. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking. Can't get ahead without overworking. Well, let's look at the numbers. The Economic Policy Institute reported from 1979 to 2020, productivity rose by a staggering 61.8%. But wages, they only grew 17.5%. We have been working harder than ever, but the rewards aren't proportionate. We are moving to an automated world where 40 hours a week may not even be necessary. In fact, creating more busy work to still hit a 40-hour work week goal can create more bad than good. And we may create an unproductive society. And to those of you who identify with the work hard, play hard mindset, I understand you. I get it. But this isn't a lazy goal at all. But this is about adapting to a new world where the old rules of work no longer guarantee success nor happiness that we're looking for. The new rules focus on creating the largest impact in our careers in the least amount of time. My solution is something that I can describe with a formula. Lazy girl job plus enrichment time equals career advancement and success. By adopting a lazy girl job mindset, we can focus on balance and rest to get our jobs done. Long gone are the days of staying at one job for 40 years. This is mostly due to the prevalent layoffs and the benefits to job hopping. This is a trend to describe leveraging an external company offer to get a higher salary than what would be available if you stayed at your old employer. The second part is enrichment time. The effort's focused on career growth, anything you want. This can look like networking, side hustles, free education courses, self-discovery in any way. I got certified to teach yoga. I don't even teach yoga, just did it. Just doing whatever. When I had my lazy girl job, it took me 2 whole hours to get my work done a day. I'm not kidding you. The rest of the time I would just spend working my content creation business, you all know me today for, networking, working out, getting that certification that I don't use. But here's the thing, I never got fired from a job, ever. Ever. This goal isn't lazy at all. It's just not centered around one 9 to 5, which caused outrage in the media. I am not anti-working or working hard. I get frustrated by this in general just from certain ways that I'm almost used as evergreen content for media can be kind of frustrating. Obviously, I'm on a TEDx stage right now. I work hard. I'm not selling this dream, but I don't work hard. I am anti-corporate exploitation. That is what we are seeing today. We are expected to be rockstar employees, wrap our entire personality around a job that's going to give us maybe 3%. That doesn't account for cost of living, inflation. I'm 27. I don't look 27, I know that. I look about 20. I get that. But I started off as a TikToker, right? I get a lot of comments all the time saying that too young to be talking about these things, that I need to climb the corporate ladder and suffer. How beautiful is it that all of you work so hard to get to the point where Gen Z gets to even have these types of conversations? And for those who think I'm too young to be talking about this, you tell me what age I'm supposed to be to start respecting myself.